So
thanks so much for tuning in to watch this video. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new punk rock videos every week and tap the bell to get notified when new videos drop. My name is Erin Micklow and I'm here with Rev from the DROWNS at Crash Fest. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm great. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm having a good day.
You seem like you're always having a good time.
That's kind of my thing. Like at shows like this too, everybody looks mad, not aggressively, but very just like tough, and they see me come in and they're like, oh, what's with this fucking dude? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, that's the guy getting on stage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smile now.
We were talking about that off camera, about how the pit, when I was in their filming site, the pit's pretty aggressive. Bay Area punks throw down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you were like, we're gonna come on here and play a bunch of happy love songs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna talk about how much I care about my wife. I'm gonna talk about my mom a little bit. It's gonna be great. They're gonna love it, or they're gonna hate it. So.
Well, so you guys are actually from Seattle. Can you talk about the scene there and how the band formed?
Yeah, so so I was in a band called Success for like 15 years.
Okay.
And then Andy was in that band too. And when that band broke up, we wanted to do something else. Jake, our drummer, was in Time Again, and he was in Madcap. And he's just my longtime best friend. So I honestly just called him and was like, this band's done. Are we good? And he was like, yes. And so we started doing long distance. Jake lived in LA. And we did long distance back and forth and just went on tour and started moving from there. And then he moved up there. So, yeah, and Seattle fucking rules. Have you been there?
I actually haven't been to Seattle yet. I'd like to.
The weather's very similar to like kind of what was going on here a little bit today, like gloomy and.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, you're not gonna like it at all.
But I heard the music scene is amazing there.
It's fucking incredible, and there's a bunch of really great people who just care about the art aspect of music, which I think can be lost these days. So yeah. So I fucking love it. You should come hang out. Yeah, come hang out during the summer. We have like 2 weeks that are hot. You'll be fine.
Okay, cool. Well, so I noticed that you play a flying V guitar, and that's something that's not really common for punk bands. Can you talk about like what made you choose that?
Yeah, well I should say that's a present from my wife. So that's one thing. But also, I'm a huge fan of like 70s rock and roll. Slade is one of my favorite bands, and I kind of like the glam aspect, and like I like the idea that a really flashy guitar makes you have to be a flashy player. Because I feel like if you show up with a V, people are like, this guy better be fucking good. So luckily I'm okay. So.
You better have the theatrics.
Absolutely. And I love that. I like that a lot. So, and it looks badass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm also like short and Humpty Dumpty shaped, so the guitar actually makes me look even shorter. So that's the only downside.
Because it's a very large guitar,
it's
right?
Huge, yeah.
What was your wife doing to you when she watched that?
I don't know. This mustache is her fault too. I want people to know that. This wasn't my personal choice. Oh man.
It reminds me of have you seen that movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah. I always get like skinhead John Candy is what I get all the time.
Oh my god, totally.
Yeah, I think I look like the guy who's been in jail so long that they let him run the library now. That's what I look like. I don't mind it. It keeps her happy, that's all. What have you got? As a warning of all you see, this root can stop. Get his grip on you. Holy adoration every day. It'll test your will, it'll test your strength. So that will remain.
practicing your comedy routine, obviously. What did you do all these 19 months of not touring?
Oh man, and you know what's funny is even if that's what was going on, it was just me to my dog being like, all right, buddy, so let's talk about the weather. Yeah, I sat at home and I hung out. I played video games. I played video pinball for like a year, and I wrote a new record. I guess that's more important to talk about. But yeah. I just wrote. I wasn't able to work for most of it, so obviously this is what we do. So this has been shut down. This is 19 months.
Yeah.
Longest break that Jake the drummer and I have been doing this for 20 years. And this is the longest break in that whole time. So in 2 decades, my therapist worked overtime. That's not a joke. I was like, I don't know how to regulate my emotions. I'm usually on the road.
You know what? It is a thing, learning how to self-soothe.
Absolutely.
That's a skill set.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, people tell me I'm awesome 6 months out of the year. How do I do it to myself?
Well, so the new record that you wrote, is that the one that you guys released in 2020, or is this another new one?
No, it's another new one that's not out yet. Exclusive, right here. It's not out yet. Under Tension, though, we dropped it at the perfect wrong time to drop a record, right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to sink. We were like, no one's going to listen to this because we can't tour on it. All our plans got canceled. We had tons of plans to go back to Japan again and go to Europe and tour on that album. But because of COVID, we couldn't do that, obviously. But it kind of helped us in this weird way, because then people sat at home and just listened to that record for a year. So now they love the songs, and they kind of like marinated in the songs. And that's why this tour has been so good, is because now people are like, the first time they get to sing along to all those songs that they learned during COVID. So
yeah, and as you know, as a music fan myself, like those new releases helped get through the pandemic. Like having that new music when you're locked up at home because it's fucking scary to go outside.
Absolutely.
You're miserable. It was like there was something. It was some sort of, something to hold on to get through.
Yeah, well, I mean, to bring the conversation full circle, to regulate your emotions too. I've always just done it with music, you know. So even if it's listening to other people's records, it's like that same thing, you know. We all kind of had to go to what we know because we were scared of what was going on. So
for sure,
I sat around and wrote. That's all I did. I played video pinball.
Video pinball.
Yeah, that's what I did. Don't tell anybody cool that I did that, all right?
Band, can you share some of your weirdest, your strangest, your funniest stories from touring?
Oh man, it's a crazy life. I mean, people, I'm sure they've heard that a million times, but it is really weird to like leave everything you know for at least half the year.
Yeah.
I will say, in 2019, we had this whirlwind at the very end of the year where we toured Japan, which was awesome, and then but in Japan, we had to cancel the last 3 days because we got stuck in a typhoon and an earthquake.
Oh my God.
And both at the same time. And we got evacuated to a middle school that had been converted into a shelter.
Yeah.
And these like little kids who go to the middle school are like giving us like crackers, like survival crackers, and like it was really scary and it was crazy. And then we were supposed to play Rock the Ship with Cox Bar right after that.
Yeah.
We were scared we weren't gonna make it, but we literally, luckily, the earthquake ended, the typhoon ended. We jumped on a plane. We flew to Seattle. We were home for like 10 hours, flew to San Francisco and played that boat in the middle of the water with Cox Bar. So that was one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life. It was incredible.
I think it's crazy that it was little children like feeding you. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, why were they so fearless?
I don't know.
Were they scared too?
No, they were, the middle school kids were like, get in here. Like it's raining and the wind it was like 200-mile-an-hour winds. And they're like putting tarps around us. And they're like, it's going to be okay.
And you're a bunch of grown men.
Yeah, we're just like, is it going to be okay? And no joke, the people we were hanging out with, there was like the old mom of the house. She was like acting like nothing was wrong. She was like, this happens all the time. As there's like, and then she's telling us a story. She's like, when you go outside, watch out for bicycles. And I was like, bikes? And she was like, the wind fucking picks up bikes and just throws them. And I was like, why are you not scared? You're like 90. It's like, what are you doing? But yeah, we were scared shitless, but we made it, so we're okay.
I guess it is like, I mean, I grew up in Florida, and hurricane season is a very, and so it's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like, oh, no school. And like, when I remember being in high school, it's like, yeah, no school today, hurricane.
Yes. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're a kid, you're like, fuck it. I don't care what the reason is. I don't have to go to school today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it would be like evacuations and all that. You don't have any like weird weather shit like that in Seattle?
No, even the rain. People think we get so much rain, but it's just like, it just rains a little bit all the time.
Yeah.
It's really not that much. No, it's chill.
Okay.
Although I will say, if it snows real bad, which it does every now and then, everything shuts down because we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah, it's good.
Watch out for the bicycle.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome in retrospect because we made it through, but I was so scared during that.
It just reminds me of the Wizard of Oz where there's
Absolutely.
a witch flying.
Yeah,
in the
100%.
sky.
Yeah, it's scary as hell.
And it's just, there goes a Japanese bicycle.
Yeah, dude, it was like the purge. Like sirens went over. Like, I'm not kidding. In the neighborhood we were in, sirens were going off, and they were like, everything's fucked. You're all gonna die. And we were like, oh shit. But then that old lady was like, you're fine. Just watch out for bicycles.
Well, I'm going to close with that. Thank you so much for the laugh.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah. Hey, I'm Red from the Drowns, and you're watching Last Rockers TV.